from New York, it's Saturday night!
Live from St. Louis and Colorado, it's Friday, because this is going to come out on Friday. Welcome to Offended. It's your boy, Tricky, alongside Thomas and Katie. Katie, naked Ladyy. Thomas, how you doing?
I am just peachy, though it is very, very hot here in Denver.
How hot is it in Denver right now?
It was 100, like an hour ago.
Yeah, we're in the 90s, but later this week it's supposed to be 100. Our electric bill was out of this fucking world this month.
Same.
Take a guess how much our electric bill was.
Oh God. Okay. Did you hit 300?
Up.
Really?
Yes.
What was it?
400.
Oh my
Almost
God.
on the nose.
Car payment. We have a car payment worth of electricity.
Seriously?
Car payment. That's more expensive than a car payment.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. My car payment is $372. Just throwing that out there.
So we could have paid for your car payment and then a little bit more and bought,
I could have bought lunch too.
I was gonna say buy lunch.
Katie, how are you? Even though I already know how you're doing.
Oh, just dandy. Why? What? I don't know. What do you mean? How do you think?
This is just the intro to the podcast.
You're like, I already know how you're doing. I'm like, am I doing something special?
That was a joke.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is the first podcast I've done in a month. Started a new job. However, there is one podcast episode of Offended that is on the back burner right now, and I don't know if it's ever going to see the light of day. This was recorded with our friend Mackenzie at 4:00 in the morning on a Friday night, and I'll just say from what I can remember of it, it was the caller daddy of Offended. It's super raunchy. It's super offensive. And I don't know if it's ever going to see the light of day, but I just letting everybody know it's out there.
Love it.
I fully plan on listening to it back. I'm afraid to listen to it. It's been like a month since we recorded this, and I still have not listened to it back yet. I'm so worried. With this new PC we got, the software that I use to record Offended on, for whatever reason, when I plug in headphones or use my AirPods, I can't hear anything.
Oh.
But if I hit record, it still records the audio. So I don't know if I'm too close to the mic. I have no idea how it sounds. So I'm really worried about that. And I'm really worried to hear back the stories that Mackenzie told on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pretty bad.
Oh, there was. Let's just I'm just gonna throw this out there. Just everybody remember Cumcorn, because even if that episode doesn't get aired, that segment will be posted because it's just a really funny, gross story.
It is gross.
The title has me both intrigued and queasy. So
Yep. And basically, just however you're imagining it, you're probably spot on, everybody. So, anywho, this is the Saturday Night Live draft. And fun fact, Saturday Night Live has been one of my favorite shows. I've always wanted to do a draft of just putting together the best SNL cast we could do. Another fun fact, when I started Offended, the original idea around Offended was to do like a Saturday Night Live podcast, which was just do the podcast, pause twice for 2 musical performances, and then continue on. That was always my plan. And if you go back and listen to like the first 5 episodes, like the opening theme song was like something like with a saxophone and like very Saturday Night Live-esque. So I was going for the old like fonts, the old logos was all Saturday Night Live based. It was in like a city. That was always my idea. But then I realized after 5 episodes, it's really hard to lock in a musical performance every week. So I just gave up.
Yeah. That's wow. I never would have made that connection, but that is truly fantastic.
Yep. The more you know. The more you know. Well, anyway, I say let's get started. But before we do, I'm going to ask you both a question. If you could pick one host to like your favorite host of Saturday Night Live of all time, who would it be and why? Thomas, we'll start with you.
Mine's Alec Baldwin. And I'll tell you why, because I had never seen a single Saturday Night Live episode until someone, I don't even remember who, and I don't remember why, bought me the best of Alec Baldwin on Saturday Night Live for like a Christmas or something like that. And I'd never really seen Saturday Night Live. I'm sure I'd seen sketches here and there, but I'd never sat down and watched it. And they bought me this, and I was like enamored with it. Like I just thought it was the funniest thing, and he was just so funny. And he's he's an acquired taste now, but yeah, I don't know, like just everything he does still just makes me laugh. He was like, and like all of that like translated to like his character on 30 Rock, and yeah, he's just a funny dude.
Oh, he was, I mean, between him, Steve Martin, and John Goodman, they were all like, well, later on it just became a fight between Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin for who can host the most. And I think Alec Baldwin ended up blowing him out of the water towards the end, but Alec Baldwin's sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls. Mm-hmm.
Katie, what about you?
I wasn't expecting this question, so I can't think of anybody, but
Curveball.
I do like the entrances where they go through the audience and go backstage, and you see like the llama, or was it a llama or a horse?
Mm-hmm. It's a llama.
Yeah. So that's my favorite. When whatever host does that, I like them.
That's fair.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's probably John Mulaney now. Like current day Saturday Night Live, John Mulaney. I'm not missing episodes because he's John Mulaney. But if I could go, I mean, of all time, probably Steve Martin. Yeah. I mean, just an absolute classic. I mean, the skit, I've been meaning to do this for like the last 2 or 3 years now, is the redo the whole Christmas thing. He's like, if I had 12 wishes, or if I had just one wish for this Christmas, it would be to help out all the children in the world. But he keeps changing. He's like, actually, never mind. Let me get some money, put in a Swiss bank account directed to me. Like he keeps changing it over and over. And then by the end, he's like, screw the kids. It's just a great
That's a good one.
All right. To determine who goes first, let me share my screen here. For anybody listening on YouTube right now, I don't know if you can see this or not. Can you both see this?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Thomas, I just want to let you know, if there's any malarkey, it's because Todd totally set this up because he knows that I'm going to pick his first pick.
He did tell me that.
Yeah. So if for whatever reason he gets to magically go first, I'm calling bullshit.
That's fair. Now I gotta mention here, and dear listeners, we have a little spinner wheel here, and I'm gonna give you a little tip from my little ADHD brain. I got back from 2 conferences over the past couple of weeks, and I was buried in work and was like, how the hell am I going to prioritize all this shit I need to get done? Let me tell you, folks, I created a wheel, and then I spin the wheel at work, and then whatever it lands on, that's what I work on. And it has been fantastic.
It's pretty awesome.
ADHD hack. That's pretty good.
That's pretty awesome. Oh, that's so good. I need to do that. God, that would help me out so much. What chore am I going to do today?
Exactly.
It's going to be like the Wheel of Death, though, where it's like, it says nothing on the
Video
big
game,
ones,
video
but
game,
like
video
the
game.
little tiny one is like chore.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
PGA Tour. Ah, it looks like I'm playing golf on PS5 again. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna do this wheel. Obviously, whoever lands on goes first, and we're gonna spin it again for second and third. I was playing with the idea of doing a snake draft, but I feel like that would just be really sucky for the person in the middle. So we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, then restart again. 1, 2, 3.
Sounds good. Yep.
All right, here we go. Oh man, I swear to God, if this lands on Katie first before me.
Come on, baby. See, that's bullshit. Bullshit.
Yes.
Such bullshit.
I have been selected first. For anybody listening, not on YouTube. All right, let's see who gets second. Please be Thomas.
Well, I don't care at this point. I just wanted number one.
Dun, 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 dun. Looks like it's going to be Thomas.
It's that way.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's fine.
Wow. Katie, last placed yet again. Oh, and hey, wait, before we go on any further, congratulations to the brand new Offended Predictions champion, Thomas. We haven't talked to you since then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm excited for you.
It's been a nice little reign so far.
Thank God that title's just off of Stout. I'm so happy.
Stout is saying that it's a fake title. He says that he's still the title owner.
No, this is nonsense. This is nonsense what he's talking. He's just mad that the up and comer, the guy that replaced him, he's just mad about that. I get it. I totally get it. I'm the young hot shot, even though I'm an old man. And
you're just like Diamond Dallas Page.
That's right. It's exactly right. I have always said, I as long as I start whatever my career is going to be at 35, I'll be fine. It's the DDP rule, which I have now 6 months to figure that out. So, but I also want to say we haven't talked since the Avs won the Stanley Cup as well.
Oh, yeah, that
Holy cow! What a weekend that was for me.
It was the same day, wasn't it?
Yay.
Oh yeah, it was. It was the same day. You're right.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you put any bets out there too, like for real money? Because you were hot that day.
I should have. That was my mistake.
But hey, you get your parking spot back. So
they'd get my parking spot back, but I actually got it. I technically got it back after Game 5 because they had to cancel the watch parties because everyone was getting too crazy.
Really?
Yeah, they busted through like the gate that they had set up on campus, and so they're like, well, we're not doing them for the last two. So.
Well, I heard like Colorado like ran out of beer like for a while too.
That's what they say, which is surprising, but yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It is impressive.
And no one arrested, which I thought was amazing.
Same thing happened with the Blues. No one was arrested in St. Louis either when we won the Stanley Cup.
Amazing.
People are just happy.
Yeah.
Like sports brings everybody together, even if they don't watch it the full season.
It's true.
Yeah, bandwagoners. All right. Here we go. Saturday Night Live draft. I got the first pick. Brings me joy in my heart to get the first pick to just stare in Katie's eyes and just say, I will take Dana Carvey, number one. Overall, I mean, in my opinion, the greatest Saturday Night Live cast member of all time. I mean, Wayne's World, you have Garth. Not gonna do it. George Bush. I mean, you can go on and on. Church Lady. Man, there's so many things, but I think his impressions are just, he's the best impressionist. And it's like, when he was on Conan O'Brien's podcast, he would talk about how him and Conan would agree on like whatever, like somebody does an impression, they don't like it when they're like really, really, really spot on and sounds just like him. They like it if it's a little cartoonish and a little more goofy, which is Dana Carvey to a T.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, perfectly. But yeah, so that is my first pick is Dana Carvey. Thomas, what's your first overall pick?
So I've been going back and forth between two. I won't say the other one just in case I happen to get that chance on the way back. But I think it feels cliche, but I think I'm going to go Chris Farley.
Fuck you!
Look, again, like this is a guy that I did not really see in his prime. I've watched him only through watching old clips, but this guy makes me laugh like harder than almost anybody. Like he's just so damn funny. He's so good. His timing is impeccable, and the amount of work that he got both Saturday Night Live and even starting to get into film, like he did a lot of work for how young he was when he died, and he just has such a he's clearly had an influence in the way that comedy has gone, in the way that SNL has gone, and in the way that like his friends' careers have gone since. And man, just a damn gem, this guy.
He really is. Gem. I mean, and I wish we would have gotten this. I wish he would have completed Shrek, because I feel like that would have been, even though it was just an animated movie, I feel like that would have been like the first time we really got to see him kind of take on a serious, not serious, but like what we've heard in the recordings. It's like, it was not like the goofy Irish Scottish accent that Mike Myers did. It was just him being him and just being like overly like serious about why don't people like me for like who I am. Like, it's just it sounded so raw and it sounded so good.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that if he was still alive, I think he would have won an Academy Award by now. I think there was some hidden talent that we had not seen yet. That's my
absolutely.
Katie, what's your first overall pick? Which that was my backup number one. If
that's my backup number one. No, so I guess I'll go with my number one, which is my number three, Kenan Thompson.
What?
I'm totally fucking with you guys. I hate Kenan Thompson so much.
I was gonna say what? Okay. I mean, I don't.
It was just such a stretch from Farley and Carvey. Like I was like, that is such a different vibe that you're going for. But
I don't hate Kenan. He just is the same in everything, and he's only been on TV since I've been watching TV for like 30 years. So
I feel like he's gotten funnier, like in like the past few seasons. Like I don't know if it's just because he just doesn't care anymore because he's been there for so long, but it's like
maybe
he's just more loose now.
Okay, my real number one, it's not of the same generation as you guys, but Bill Hader.
Oh, damn, what a pick.
He's a top one for me.
That was my next pick.
Oh, so sorry.
Damn you. That was my next pick. He was just on Dana Carvey and David Spade's podcast, and Dana Carvey was like, if somebody told me my favorite cast member at Saturday Night Live of all time was Bill Hader, I wouldn't punch him in the face. It's like that's a good pick. And I mean, for me, I think those are my top three Saturday Night Live cast members for real.
Yep.
Like without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, my next pick would be number 4, and that's gonna be Will Ferrell, but Bill Hader, I hate you for taking him. I want him and Dana Carvey to do a movie together.
Too bad.
Just 2 hours of impressions. I would just be on my ass laughing. But for me, my second pick, Will Ferrell. I mean, how could it not pick Will Ferrell? I'm surprised. Actually, I'm actually really surprised you didn't pick him, Katie.
I mean, he is my cousin, but just kidding.
I mean,
he would have been my number 2 pick.
Night at the Roxbury. I mean, I'm drawing a blank, and there's so many cowbell.
The sergeant one.
What?
The old man sergeant one, whatever that one's called.
Forgot about that.
That's one of my favorite ones.
You know that didn't even make it on air. That was cut before the show started.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh. Yes, I did know that.
Oh, peaches.
I think Harry Carey was the first thing I ever saw him as, of course, and just but he's a guy. I didn't realize this until lately, but he has Arn Anderson's disease, where he's looked like he's been 45 his whole life, and his costumes definitely like and his random mustaches and things like that add to that. But yeah, this man's been 45 his entire life. I don't understand how that's possible.
I don't either. One of my all-time favorite Will Ferrell things is when he was on. It's just like a little update like segment, but for some reason his voice was always like this, and it never changed no matter what he did. And a little bit softer now, and he just kept repeating that over and over. And Jimmy Fallon's like, "Yeah, it's not getting quieter, not getting quieter." Like, but it was the best. Jimmy Fallon always said he only laughed in Will Ferrell's sketches, which is kind of true. Like if you go back and look at Jimmy Fallon skits, most of the time he's laughing is with Will Ferrell or Horatio Sands. Really?
No, he always laughed.
He
just laughed a lot more.
He has, but not. If you go back and watch his old SNLs, it's not as much if Will Ferrell's not in the sketch.
Okay.
But yeah, got a fever. The only prescription is more cowbell. That Christopher Walken's another good pick for
Walken is
host.
good. Yeah.
All right, Thomas, what's your second pick?
Oh, I'm going to go a little more recent, and I'm going to say Andy Samberg.
Oh, you bastard.
I mean, look, this guy popularized Saturday Night Live for an entire generation.
Yep.
Like they would not be where they're at right now if it wasn't for digital shorts, and digital shorts were run by the Lonely Island. So that was it wasn't quite Eddie Murphy saving the show, but it was pretty important to the time. And so and he just, I don't know, man, he's so freaking goofy, but he is I don't know, he seems like he genuinely like cared about what he was doing too,
Right.
like all the time, but yeah, he's a good in that, Andy Samberg.
Oh man, I mean, I remember like Lazy Sunday was like the first viral video. Like that thing blew up. And when that blew up, I mean, like you said, Saturday Night Live like blew up again. Like that was their saving grace. And it's always so funny to me. I feel like when you look back at SNL, like how many, like we've heard so many stories of all like David Spade and Dana Carvey and all these other people say like when they were on SNL, people would always bash and say how bad it was then. And then you fast forward 10 years later and they're like, it was the best SNL of all time. And then same was said when Will Ferrell, well, actually, no, Will Ferrell is like the only one that I can really remember. It's like, this is phenomenal. Like this is just pure comedy. Then people said the same thing about Bill Hader and Jimmy Fallon and all that. And then you fast forward another 10 years. It's like, shit, that was a great cast. Like, so it's like when you look at Saturday Night Live now, people are saying the same shit that they did 20 years ago. And we'll probably say the same thing again in 10 years once all these actors and actresses go on and do movies. And you're like, oh, that was a great cast again. Like, So, Katie, what's your second horrible pick?
Jimmy Fallon. Also, I want to change my first answer, like way back. Favorite guest host would have to be Justin Timberlake.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Here we are on the Birmingham Talk Show.
I like the camp when they're campers and they sing to each other.
Is that on the Jimmy Fallon show? Yeah, that's just on the Tonight Show when he did that with Justin Timberlake. But that's why that's so good, because I mean, like it literally was just an SNL skit. Like I think Jimmy Fallon said that was an SNL skit that he wrote for the show, and Lorne Michaels turned it down and said no, and they did it on the Tonight Show.
What about Two Guts in a Boat? Was that just during
that's
COVID?
Tonight Show. Yeah, that's just no. That wasn't even COVID. That was just him and what's his name from Hamilton?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, that was just both of them just fucking around on a boat just because they had goatees.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon wasn't in that one.
Oh, he is. That's those two. Yeah.
It wasn't Justin Timberlake.
Oh my god, no! It's.
I told you I wouldn't be good at this.
No, you are. You got to be on these. We need somebody to make fun of. So.
Look, I'm gonna just say this right now because I think it's gonna set the tone for the rest of the show. I fucking hate Jimmy Fallon. I don't think he's funny at all. I think that everything he does is just to pop himself, which I don't like. It's fine, but I just don't find him funny at all. I just find him to be a fucking doof. And I just can't deal with him, man.
He is a doof. I will say that. He is a doof, but I like him. He's just a fucking doof. Oh, I love it. Oh, man. Yeah, good pick, Katie. Doof. 10 minutes already? Jesus. Wow. Okay. Well, I got 10-minute countdown. This for people listening to this, don't worry about the 10 minutes. Don't worry about it. Pertains to nothing to you. But anyway, right. my next pick is going to be Adam Sandler. I mean, Opera Man. Just let the boy water your plants. I mean,
pepper.
Yeah, the pepper. Yeah, with him and Dana Carvey. Would you like it, the pepper? Like, I mean, you want to talk about like the best of Adam Sandler's best of SNL is on par with Chris Farley and Will Ferrell's, and that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, yeah, I think people forget how many funny things that Sandler was a part of.
He was just so successful in film so quickly that I think it just like completely eroded that, unfortunately, and that's a real bummer.
I agree. All right, Thomas, what's your second pick?
I'm going to go the other half of Wayne's World. We're going to go Mike Myers, our Canadian brethren, Mike Myers. Now, here's the thing. I love him, and he would be higher on this list if he just knew how to dial it back. You know, like, which good for him. I mean, this man showed no restraint ever in anything he did, but I think like he would have had a couple more successful things had he dialed it back like 1 or 2 notches. We're talking about the Shrek thing. I mean, like, it obviously worked out really well, but was a completely different direction, and that's just what you're going to get with him. But I think he's a comedy genius. I think, like, I watch Austin Powers probably every year, like all of them, because I just think he is so goddamn funny. And then yeah, obviously Wayne's World can't be topped. So
Cannot be topped, obviously.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna set the tone for the rest of the podcast. I don't think Mike Myers is that funny. He's got moments, but like Austin Powers.
Thomas, now you understand why I'm so mean to her all the time.
You don't like Austin Powers.
Get it?
You don't even like Austin Powers.
I do like Austin Powers.
No, you don't.
I don't like the third one.
You've made comments. You're like, I don't want to watch it. Austin Powers is stupid.
When have I made that?
It is stupid. I mean, in fairness, it is stupid.
I always quote Austin Powers. I'm always like, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach.
That's the one thing you say.
That's fucking funny. That is not the one thing I say. Dr. Evil, you think you're crazy. Now I can see your nuts. I thank you. Because his pants came down. I just don't like the third one. I don't think the third one's that funny. The second one, I think, is absolutely hysterical.
Which is funny because you just took that quote from the third one, which I appreciate. Right? Yeah.
Yep. I know. I mean, I really laughed really hard when I was a kid when I saw that part.
I actually think, in fairness, I think Mike Myers is a bit of an acquired taste. And I totally get why people would not gravitate towards his particular style of comedy.
Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live, though, was fucking gold.
He was funny on SNL.
Was the one where he was like a kid, like strapped like to the playground, and he kept trying to jump up and like.
I also loved Coffee Talk. Like
Coffee Talk. I feel like a little...
It ran its course, but it was good for its time.
Katie,
I'm gonna take it way back and choose Norm Macdonald.
Ooh,
great choice.
That is a good choice. Turd Ferguson. Yeah, the big hat. It's funny. Oh man, Norm was so fucking funny. Like, and people hated him when he was on Saturday Night Live.
Really?
Yes. Like,
I
people
didn't know
did
that.
not like him at all when he was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I mean, and he got fired for the Weekend Update stuff, and like he just because he didn't give a shit.
No,
he wasn't afraid to just say whatever.
He was told to stop doing the
OJ stuff.
Yeah, on OJ Simpson. He went harder on OJ Simpson after that.
It's so funny.
It was like one joke that was like bad, and it was like literally the day after he was told not to do it. But it had to do with something, like obviously had to do something with murdering somebody. And he's like, not OJ Simpson. I just remember like him hitting that line, but he kept going back to it and kept saying, not OJ Simpson, like throughout Update. It was so good. Wish I could remember some of them though. They were so good.
The best Burt Reynolds in the business.
Oh my, by far. Turd Ferguson. Yeah, what do you want? You rang in. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Let's agree to disagree. Fourth round. For my fourth round pick, I'm gonna take it all the way back to season 1. We're going Chevy Chase. I mean, just an absolute his like, you can totally tell that he was an inspiration to like Farley and like the 90s like cast members, especially with his physical comedy and like how he would like trip over and fall into stuff. And wasn't he the shark? Wasn't he revealed as the shark like after a while? Yeah. Chevy Chase, I mean, him on Update was even great. Jane, you ignorant slut. So good. Yeah. Chevy Chase is my fourth pick. Thomas, on to you.
I am also going to the way back, and I am picking Dan Aykroyd.
Ooh,
Um,
damn.
like he was Mr. Consistency during that time, arguably
Mhm.
probably the most important cast member, not because he was the funniest, because he wasn't, but I think that Chevy and Belushi both were funnier than him, like consistently, but he was just Mr. Consistency, like the guy that like was in almost every sketch,
Mhm.
and just knocked it out of the park. And he's got the dry humor, which I always appreciate. Just a really solid. I mean, that group to start. So we just talked about these amazing groups that keep coming in, but that group to start was pretty legendary. So
By far. I just remember the one skit. I think if I'm not mistaken, the skit with the blender where he just kept putting in random shit, and he took like a dead fish and put it on the blender. Apparently he didn't tell anybody what he was doing. He just went out there and did it, which is just
amazing.
even funnier to me.
It's amazing.
And the crowd's reaction to it is what makes that whole skit.
Yeah.
Because like the way they react, the harder you're laughing at it. It's just Dan Aykroyd. What a pick. What a pick. Blues Brothers. What a pick. Katie, what's your fourth pick?
Fred Armisen.
Damn it.
It's a good pick.
Ha 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 ha. He's so funny.
He is funny.
He's so clever. He's always like just weird as shit, and I love it. He's a little weirdo.
And speaking of Fred Armisen, he is in my all-time favorite Saturday Night Live sketch of all time. It's called Farewell, Mr. Bunting, and it is a play on Dead Poet Society. And so he's basically playing Robin Williams, and there's no joke in this. There's literally like no jokes in this. It's super serious, and he's like coming to collect his things, his personals is what he calls them. He's like, I'm just coming to collect my personals, and he's like walking out, and like of course like the students are like turning around, or like, we don't want you to leave, Mr. Bunting, like blah blah blah, and like everyone's kind of freaking out, like, oh, we don't want you to leave, and then like they stand up on the table, and like they say I sing the song for my heart to whatever the poem is that they say. When Pete Davidson stands up and goes to say it, his head gets cut off by the fan, and it just like blood is just splattering like everywhere, like it's just pure chaos from there, and blood is just spraying like all over the place, like everybody's freaking out. And after everything cools down, like Fred Armisen just looks around, he's like, all right, I'm gonna take off. He just picks up his personals and walks out. That's all. That's the entire skit.
I'm gonna watch that after this. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. That's
good.
The best skit of all time. Fifth round. Who the fuck do I want? That's the question. Who should I take? Robert Downey Jr.? He was on Saturday Night Live for a season.
No.
I think that's a good.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, no, I ain't taking him. Let's go with. I'm gonna take for my fifth pick. I'm gonna take John Belushi. I mean, the funnier Belushi, obviously. The other Blues brother. What was his name? Samurai. Was it Samurai Chef? I think that was it.
Sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah.
I mean, when he would just take the fucking sword and break it.
Yeah.
What's fucking hilarious is that was a real sword. Like, and there's a I forget who was in that sketch with them, but like when he goes down and he flings it back up, you see he actually like slices like somebody's like suit or something, like in one of the sketches that
Jesus.
they do. I know. John Belushi was a madman, but I mean, could you imagine him and Chris Farley together on a skit? It would be the funniest thing that we've ever seen. Yeah, that's my number 5, John Belushi. Thomas, on over to you.
I'm having a conundrum. There's a few folks that I have in kind of this tier, but I think I'm gonna go Kristen Wiig.
Ooh.
I don't know what it was like about her, but like it's just she made me giggle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's what it was. It was that giggle kind of laugh. Like she just always made me giggle. Like, she's so freaking ridiculous and awkward, and broke a lot. Like
Right.
Herself, which I think like always adds to the authenticity. But
Mhm.
Kristen Wiig is up there for me.
It's a match. Target lady. God, her skits with the tiny hands
Tiny hands,
were
man.
just fucking gold.
Judas, man, just the best.
They were the
Gilly,
best.
Gilly, Gilly.
Gilly. Hi. All right, Katie.
I'm also gonna go with a woman. I'm gonna say Amy Poehler.
Damn it, that was my next pick.
Thank God, because I had like 3, and I'm like, what are you guys gonna pick next? I'm trying to base my picks off of yours.
Amy
What are you
Poehler
gonna take?
was, I mean, gold on Saturday Night Live. Katie, I don't know if you remember her skits when she would just, I think it was always like the cast member whoever was the host that night was playing her dad in the skit, and she would just run around just going Rick, 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 Rick. Like it was so funny every time she did it. But her on Update was great. I mean, she literally is just the female version of Steve Carell. I mean,
Sure.
to a T.
Yeah.
Like, she's absolutely hilarious in my opinion. Damn. All right. I thought this would get easier for me, and it's just getting harder. Since you took my pick, Katie. At 6, I'm gonna go with actually the past 5 rounds. Time to pick our update correspondents who would be on Weekend Update for us. Let's reverse the order. Katie, go ahead. You can pick first for this.
I like the current hosts.
Damn it.
So you got Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Yeah. I love Michael Che.
I do too.
I love the game that they play where they get to write each other's jokes,
Me
and
too.
Michael Che
God,
always
so good.
fucks over Colin.
He does.
Always.
He does.
Always.
So
Because
good.
Colin only goes so far with Michael Che's jokes, but Michael Che is like, fuck it, I'm doing
Yeah.
everything.
I love that we get a healthy dose of Scarlett Johansson in those two.
Mhm.
Of like him saying something about her, and yeah, so good. That was my pick too. But I think I will go with the aforementioned Amy Poehler. I loved Amy Poehler behind Weekend Update. Like, just I don't know, just she commands it, you know.
She really does.
Mhm.
So it was, yeah, she was probably my I do think the current group are probably, like, the current 2 are probably my favorite, but yeah, Amy's definitely up there.
So would you take Amy Poehler with, oh, am I still there?
Yep.
Okay. Would you take Amy Poehler with Tina Fey or Amy Poehler with Seth Meyers?
I would probably go Seth
Mhm.
Meyers. I mean, Amy and Tina are gold together almost always, but I liked Seth's dynamic
did
with
too.
Amy better.
I did too.
Yeah.
I feel like they were almost, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were almost too similar.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought when it's transitioned into Seth Meyers, I thought their chemistry was better because they could play off each other just a little more.
I agree.
But because wasn't it those two that always had the skits where they would just yell at each other too? Like,
yes.
yeah, those were fucking so good. Shit. Do I take Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey?
Thomas won't agree with
Chevy
you,
Chase. I fucking loved Kevin Nealon. Dennis Miller was great.
Too.
but didn't you say Norm Macdonald was on it too?
Yeah,
One was good.
talk like Dennis Miller for the rest of the show, KT. Okay. You know what? I'm going with Norm Macdonald. I mean, I laughed so hard at his jokes because they were so offensive for the time, and just how he just didn't give a fuck. So
yeah,
we're going Norm.
It's a good choice.
All right. Am I going to be nice and let you go first, Katie, for the last 5? No, I'm just kidding. Why would I do that?
No, I knew you weren't. I knew that wasn't fucking happening.
For my 6th pick, I'm going to go with Tina Fey. Tina Fey, I mean, I feel like she was like a trailblazer for like women on Saturday Night Live. I mean, maybe you could argue Maya Rudolph was first, but like she was kind of the first one that I can actually remember that just took it up a notch. Like every time that she did a skit, then Amy Poehler came around, and then Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon, and I think she kind of set the standard in the bar a little bit for like over the top, gross out humor for women on Saturday Night Live. So
Mhm.
I'm going to pick Tina Fey at number 6.
I think she's the best, one of the best writers they've ever had, and the best female writer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. 100%. 100%. All right, Thomas, who's your number 6?
I am, oh man, I'm stuck between two again, and I'm gonna go one and assume that the other one will be there. I'm gonna go Will Forte.
Ooh.
Oh, he was on my list.
He's just such a lovable goofball.
Yes.
But like MacGruber, just so great, man. And like my mom was a huge MacGyver fan, so like that one like spoke to me. I was like, this is fantastic. This is great. I've seen every MacGyver, and now I just have to watch MacGruber all the time. I freaking love him.
Have you watched the show?
I haven't. No.
Neither have I.
No, not yet. It's on the list, but the list is very long right now. It's too much content. Let's go back to 5 channels. I don't want to do that. But yeah, he's just, and his impressions were never like the best impressions.
No, not at all.
But he committed to them, and that's the best I could say for that. But he's just a funny guy.
He was so funny. Like the one on Update when he would always talk like this and really slow and pick up his cue card and set it on down and pick it right back up again. It's so good. All right, Katie.
I'm going with Kate McKinnon. I would like Amy Poehler and Kate McKinnon to have been on the same season.
That would have been good.
Amazing.
That would have been fun for me. So that's why they're on my team.
That would have been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Her skits, I mean, it kind of seems like the longer that like cast members are on, like you could say for Bill Hader and like Kristen Wiig, like the longer that they were on Saturday Night Live, the more that they would break, because it's like they would try to push the boundaries a little more. And it's like Kate McKinnon in the last like 3 seasons, I feel like has been breaking like every other skit now, and it's hilarious. I love when characters break. Maybe not as much as Jimmy Fallon did, but still. Would you call him a doof?
It's a doof.
That might be the title of the episode. Jimmy Fallon's a doof.
Love it.
But yeah, I like
shit.
Kate because she's not only like silly, stupid, funny, but she also, I think, can be really serious.
Yeah. And
also she can sing. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're just multi-talented.
She really can sing.
Yeah.
She's also which obviously is super helpful in a show like this, but like she's so expressive, and it just adds that extra element to like her entire performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. All right, 7th round. I'm just gonna hope that this person that I'm not picking is gonna be out there after this pick. I can't. He's gonna go. All right, for this pick, I'm gonna have to go with David Spade. I mean, just absolute. His segments on Update back in the early 90s when he would just rip on people. Even to this day, those are still some of the funniest segments that have ever been done on Saturday Night Live. Like when he kept always referring back to Macaulay Culkin, he's like, "Yeah, I looked just like you. This is what you're gonna grow up to be like. Okay, welcome to hell." David Spade, I mean, the Gap Girls with Farley and Sandler. Oh my God. We're gonna eat all those fries.
Spade. That's a good pick. It's a really
David
good pick.
Spade, number 7. What's your number 7?
All right. I know we gave my man some grief earlier, but I'm picking Kenan. I friggin' love Kenan Thompson. Kenan was the very first sketch show I ever watched, was All That.
Mm-hmm.
All That.
And I still love The Frenchman in the Tub, which I think is still his best character, and he did that on All That. And then he did a very lovely version of his French Def Jam comic, which I friggin' love. And then I also I love What's Up With That. Like, but here's the thing about
What's Up With That. So good.
Here's the thing about Kenan, and I think this is why he probably dropped so low, is he is not one to like everyone. I think pretty much everyone we've taken before this, like they command the room, right? And Keenan is a guy that just makes everyone else better. Like he just makes the overall performance better. He's not necessarily going to be the star of the sketch, even in some that he's supposed to be, but he makes everyone else so much better. And I just freaking love Keenan. And I've watched Keenan, to Katie's point, since I was a wee lad. So yeah, I've been able to follow his career forever, from Mighty Ducks and Heavyweights all the way through now. So
It's knuckle puck time.
that's right.
How long? Trivia question. How long has Kenan Thompson been on Saturday Night Live? How many years?
10.
It's over 14.
He's the longest tenured.
Because 14 was the original record.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Kenan broke that record.
17?
He has been on for 19 seasons.
Damn. Yeah. Keenan.
Yep. For who was 14? Was it Tim Meadows? Was he the other one?
No, it was oh Jesus.
Seth Meyers had 13. That was Daryl Hammond.
Oh yeah, it was Hammond. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, I know I saw this earlier when I was doing some research.
Yep. Who is now, fun fact, he is the voice of Saturday Night Live now, since John Parlow passed away a few years ago. He's now the it's Saturday Night Live guy, whatever, voiceover guy, PA guy, whatever you want to call it. The Howard Finkel of Saturday Night Live.
That's right.
All right, Kate, who's your 7th pick?
Wah, wah, wah. Rachel Dratch. Debbie Downer.
Damn it. Damn it.
Such a
I
good
picked 3
pick.
women in a row, and all 3 would be great together. I mean, I think Rachel and Amy were on at the same time, weren't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just throw Kate McKinnon in there, and it'll be a chef's kiss.
Oh, and you get to do Jimmy, since you have Jimmy Fallon, you can do the Boston skits. Those were always great. Hey, Johnny
Those were good.
Damon. No, you
I
can't
love
laugh at
all of
those,
the-
Thomas.
They
You
were
can't
good.
laugh at those with
They
the
were good.
goof in it.
He is a dude.
I think
But
my favorite person for her to team up with was Will Ferrell. They
Oh,
always
yeah.
like made it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
always tried to make her so uncomfortable, and it
Mhm.
always worked. Like you could tell they were like best buds.
in the hot tub.
Yeah. Yeah.
of the lovers.
Just
in the
one
hot
of
tub.
many.
Oh, it's so good. That's that's a really
Such
good
a good
pick, Katie.
pick.
I know. I didn't get to go first, but I had
You
some good
completely made
content.
up for that Jimmy Fallon pick with that pick. I'll tell you that.
That's a
I
steal.
don't.
I think
I
so.
don't know if you can make up Keenan to me because
It's fine. I get
Keenan
it.
or Mike Myers.
It's
I
okay.
don't know.
I get it.
For my 8th round pick, Todd Rick of Offended is going to choose Chris Parnell. He is Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Oh, really?
But I mean, yes, but like, who are you saying was just really consistent? Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Like, Chris Parnell was just consistent in everything he did. And I think he is one of the only cast members to be fired and then to get rehired because Will Ferrell went to bat for him. And he's like, please bring this guy back on. He is funny. And those 2 in the skits together, I always thought were great because I thought Chris Parnell played off of Will Ferrell so well in every skit that they did together. And then later on, like towards the end of his tenure on Saturday Night Live, he he did this character where they were like in the middle of nowhere. I forget, was it like Redneck Hospital or something? I forget what it was called, but he was the only reoccurring part on the skit where he would walk into the hospital in like a pair of Daisy Duke jean shorts. It's like, I got something stuck in my butt again. I can't get it out. He's like, all right, down the hall left, Cletus. And it's like Seth Meyers is like the receptionist, like, but Chris Parnell, that's my number 8.
Yeah, it's not a pick I thought you'd make now, but it's a really good one. Like it's a good sleeper pick for sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And makes me rethink my strategy moving forward a little bit. I freaking as an aside, I love Chris Parnell as Garth in Anchorman. She's just so again just playing off of Will Ferrell so well, just fantastic. The poop coming out of your mouth.
Garth, if I give you some money, will that ease the pain?
I'm gonna go Maya Rudolph here.
Good pick.
Good one.
Again, someone who can just belt it out with the tunes, but always did a great Christina Aguilera, of course, and Whitney, and but just obviously supremely talented person, and yeah, just still makes me laugh. Like I think she's just one of those people that is just like she's such a natural, you know, and she also she comes from a famous family. Let's not like disregard that. But you know, she's she did all the work herself, you know, since she got in. So good for Maya Rudolph. And she's Connie in Big Mouth, which is basically my celebrity crush. So
that's fair.
I
That is fair.
haven't given Big Mouth a try yet. But I hear it's funny.
You got to give it a try. Just a little try.
Just a little one. Just a couple episodes.
Give it a try,
my next pick is Kyle Mooney.
Damn.
I love Kyle Mooney.
Good pick.
My favorite skit is when he's in his underwear with I forget who's in it. Yeah.
Those skits are so underrated. It's not even funny how underrated those skits are, where they would just come down the steps like fighting like little kids. And I think Liv Schreiber was the host when the first time they did it. And you just get the hose in the living room and just spray them both down. oh, stop it. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Do I go Beck Bennett next?
I was looking at him.
I love Beck Bennett. There's like 4 more people I really want, but we only have 2 picks left. Yeah. So for my
better get picking.
My 9th pick, I'm going to go with John Lovitz. Jealous? Yeah. John Lovitz is still to this day, I think, one of the most underrated comedians of all time. He does not get enough love for how funny he really is. What's that look for, Katie?
I mean, he's just the same in everything. That's the only critique I have about him.
Apparently Conan and Dana Carvey would always say that he always wanted a catchphrase, and he tried to get something. He would always try to get "goodbye everybody, goodbye" to stick. It was just like a 4-minute skit of him just saying "goodbye everybody, goodbye" like over and over. But he got the catchphrase later on, being himself to his friends, just going "jealous." It's like, that's your catchphrase. Like, he never used it on Saturday Night Live.
Wait, what are we doing here? Yeah.
But apparently David Spade was like, yeah, he did that to me one time at, you know, he always be like, if you have a nice car or like he had a good looking woman around his arm, he'd always be like, jealous. But David Spade, there was one time where it wasn't like a car, or it wasn't like a woman, forget what it was exactly, but John Loves was like, jealous. And David Spade's like, well, actually, for the first time, pal, I am. And John Love's like, wait, what, why are you jealous? Like, why are you jealous of me? Like, what do you got to be jealous of? Like, totally threw him off. So that's the only time he got him to like not fuck with him, was just him being like, yeah, I am jealous. He's like, wait, what's going on? Yeah, John Love. It's my number 9. All right, Thomas, what's your number 9?
I'm gonna go Bobby Moynihan.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Who's that?
Another Drunk guy Uncle. That's just Drunk Uncle. Drunk Uncle. And then he was the like the angry retail worker too. And he's always like he seconded in like almost every skit. But he was just another guy that just like his face. He's like the male Rachel Dratch to me. Like like his face and his mannerisms and like his style of comedy. Though he's probably closer to like Parnell too. Like I would say like they're pretty similar. But just another guy that just could make me laugh all the time. And you know, a guy that stayed through some rough years at the beginning before they went digital. But yeah, it was he's someone that I think like if I catch a clip or whatever and he's in it, I'll sit down and watch it pretty much every time.
Yeah, Bobby Moynihan, he's like sneaky funny, like really sneaky funny. And one of the skits, I don't know why, when I think of Bobby Moynihan, I think of the skit with Michael Keaton, and it's like an Easter sketch.
Yeah,
where like he'll just walk out in the middle and like He doesn't have any lines. He just goes blank, blank, and like walks off the set. For whatever reason, that pops me every time. Like,
So good.
it is good. But that's a good pick. That's a good sleeper pick. We all got them. We all got our sleeper picks. All right, Katie, what's your number 9?
I don't know.
Oh, there's so many left.
I
Like the last pick for
know.
me is like really hard. That's what she said.
I'm between 2 and they're both terrible, but I love them both, but I don't love them both. Rob
That's a terrible way
Schneider.
of putting it.
Rob Schneider.
No, Rob Schneider, that's one of the picks that was for me. He
Yeah.
was good on Saturday Night Live.
He was, but his career just like fizzled out. You know, it's like he could do well on SNL, and that was kind of about it.
Man,
But
Rob Schneider was hilarious on Saturday Night Live.
You're gonna make fun of me for my last one then if I get to it. Okay, Rob Schneider. Yeah.
Copies. Everybody thought that he was gonna be the next big thing.
Yep.
Like
I know.
everybody thought that. And then it ended up just not going. He was Marty Jannetty of that group.
Yeah.
He really was. I mean, shit, he was in Home Alone 2 with Donald Trump, so winner. For my last pick, man, this one's fucking sucks. This is still Tracy Morgan. There's fucking Eddie Murphy, Tim Meadows, Bill fucking Murray.
Yeah.
Star
Yeah, Bill
Wars.
Murray hasn't
talking
gotten
about
picked yet.
Star Wars. Man, there's so many. Chris Kattan even.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, Al Franken was hilarious on Saturday Night Live even. Stuart Smalley. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me. I always forget that Billy Crystal was on for a season. Martin Short was on for a season. Like, Beck Bennett. God damn.
Pick one, Tricky.
Fine. All right. For my final pick, I'm going to go with Molly Shannon.
It's a good pick.
I mean, superstar. Another one that just was always just consistent in like every skit she was in, and her chemistry with Will Ferrell is it's one of my favorite like duos.
Yep.
That like people don't talk about enough, in my opinion. Like those two together on Saturday Night Live was just great. They had great chemistry. I'm gonna go with Molly Shannon for my 10th and final pick. Thomas.
You said some good ones there. I'd love to. I thought about some of these one seasoners because some of them were like obviously like gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think though I'm going to go the opposite, and I'm going to say someone you mentioned a couple of times, but Tim Meadows. Ladies Man, even though the movie wasn't, it was whatever. The actual character and just his delivery, oh man, just so funny. And he's funny in everything he does. He just enhances everything. And I don't know, he was a mainstay for a while. But he was, I don't know, he just makes me smile when he comes on screen.
Right.
No,
dude, Tim Meadows. I love Tim Meadows. It's Leon Phelps, the lathe man. Like, I mean, those skits were always gold, but I remember him. I always think of Keenan when this skit, because like it was one of the things where like I think Mike Myers hosted where they would walk through when he was hosting, go backstage and everything, and they're like, Tim, you're still here? What are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I signed another contract, not a big deal. And Mike Myers walks off camera. He goes, why did I sign a 10-year contract? And that line makes me think of Kenan Thompson every time I like watch that part. It's like, dude, he signed a 20-year contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Meadows.
That's amazing.
Great pick. Great final pick. All right, Katie, what's your 10th and final pick?
10th, he made it this whole time. He was on the back burner, but Chris Kattan. We watched a season of him with Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, and I was like, wow, you're a strange duck. But
he has a sad story after
yeah,
Saturday
he
Night Live.
does. Yeah, so it's but on SNL he was really good.
Oh, he was great. I mean, Night at the Roxbury, Mango, Mr. Peepers.
Is that the monkey?
Yes.
Yeah.
When The Rock was
With The Rock,
his
yep.
dad.
That's what I was thinking too. Chris Kattan, yeah, he's a guy I'm like, if I could give someone a second chance, I'd want it to be Chris Kattan. Like, I
Yeah.
just
Give him a
man.
redo on life.
Yeah, man, just let
Just
him
like
let
a-
him start over. Give him something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny, and he's in one of my all-time favorite movies, Undercover Brother. So
That's one of your favorite movies?
it is. Yeah.
That's actually awesome. Another person that I wanted to pick, though, real quick, was Phil Hartman.
You do not get no.
Nope,
You always get bonuses.
We get to talk about the late great Phil Hartman for a minute, because he was outstanding on Saturday Night Live. That's another guy, life cut short. Like, who knows where he'd be right now? I mean, he was on track to, like, I think, be larger than life almost.
Yeah.
Like, he was, because he had the acting chops to go do something serious, and he was just funny in almost everything he was in.
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he is hilarious in that movie. What was the TV show he was on with Joe Rogan?
News radio, right?
Yeah, News Radio. Yeah.
It was, that show was like one of the first like more like adult sitcoms I ever watched. Like, I did not and I don't even know why. I just turned it on and it was Phil just going, and I was like, this is a good show. Like, I don't know what it was, but yeah. And he, like, I'm pretty sure he died before that ended, and they like dedicated like the last season to him or something. But
I think they tried to do like 2 or 3 more seasons, and it was just not the same without him.
Yeah.
But Phil Hartman, I mean, he was absolutely hilarious. All right, let's run through our picks real quick. Katie, you had Bill Hader, the Doof, Jimmy Fallon, Norm Macdonald, Fred Armisen, Amy Poehler, Kate McKinnon, Rachel Dratch, Kyle Mooney, Rob Schneider, and Chris Kattan, with Colin Jost and Michael Che as Weekend Update correspondents. That's great.
Good cast.
Yeah.
It's a solid cast.
That's a really good cast. Thomas, you had Chris Farley, Andy Samberg, Mike Myers, Dan Aykroyd, Kristen Wiig, Will Forte, Kenan Thompson, Maya Rudolph, Bobby Moynihan, and Tim Meadows, with Amy Poehler and Seth Meyers as your update correspondents.
My show is silly as fuck, man. There's just a bunch of silly billies in that show.
And for me, I have Dana Carvey, Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, Chevy Chase, John Belushi, Tina Fey, David Spade, Chris Parnell, John Lovitz, Molly Shannon, with Norm Macdonald as the Weekend Update correspondent. Mine trails off, I feel like, in the last 3 picks. Parnell, Lovitz, Molly Shannon.
I don't know. Like, Parnell is, I mean, Parnell was never like obviously like the main cast member, but I think super solid. Lovitz, I think, like you said, is underrated. Like, even if he did play the same thing in everything that he ever did. And yeah, Molly Shannon, like we talked about, like, she's kind of a what if, right? Like, she could have taken off, and it just, I don't know that the environment that she was in was ready for female-led comedies at the time. Right. So yeah,
she was like ahead of her time. Like I say, Tina Fey was the catalyst. Maybe Molly Shannon may have been the catalyst, honestly. But I mean, you had Sherry O'Terry. She was hilarious that nobody really talks about. I can't believe nobody said Eddie Murphy.
I thought about it.
Yeah, honestly, like part of it for me is like, he was already such a huge star when he joined. Like, and his career trajectory, meaning like he was like already like, he was hitting, he was getting his specials, and then he just exploded, as we know. And like I said earlier, he saved SNL when he was on. Like the ratings were in the toilet, and he saved it. I think for me, it's just like body of work more than anything is what it came down to for me. Right.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Real quick, without, who else is underrated? Garrett Morris was underrated too. Not a lot of people talk about him.
Yeah. Original Ant-Man.
Member. Yeah. Real quick, without saying why, you could pick one musical guest to come on that you can think of. Who would it be? And or not why, but who would it be? For me, I'm going to say Ashley Simpson. Nope. Mine would be U2, obviously. I feel like every time U2 is on, remember Amy Poehler just telling a story about like how, like you see her actually freaking out and crying when Bono comes up over to her and gives her a hug, because they used to always let U2 do 3 songs instead of 2. Like U2 would always play a third song during the credits, and Bono walked over like to the cast during the goodbyes, and he walked over to her and gave her like a hug, and you see her like, oh my God, it's Bono. Like, it's just funny to see like a celebrity get starstruck like that. It's like, oh
yeah,
just a reminder that, you know, they're humble and they're human also, in my opinion. All right. Anybody for a musical guest?
I will say 2, because you always throw in an extra 1 or 2. David Byrne, just because his live performance was
good.
so good. And then 2 is Justin Timberlake.
Fair.
Because he usually at least does or he used to do like at least a skit or 2 while also being the musical artist or guest or whatever. So, and Ashley Simpson.
Naturally. Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd.
Yes. Fuck yeah. No other context needed with that. I haven't been doing that lately. I need to keep doing that again. But another thing with SNL before we get out of here, 90s writers on SNL, just the best. At one point in time, you had Robert Smigel, Bob Odenkirk, and Conan O'Brien writing for Saturday Night Live at the same time with David Spade and Adam Sandler. It's just like, holy shit. Like, that is the gold. That's the dream team. And then you had why Bill Hader was so funny with Stefan. You had John Mulaney and writing the jokes and then switching the jokes on him live on air, which was brilliant. I mean, I don't think you just got to give the writers all the credit in the world. Without the writers, that show does not exist. So, yeah, shout out to the writers. All right. Well, Thomas, thank you for coming on, as always. Make sure to go check out anythingbutcredible.com for all your network needs, including Offended, Anything But Credible, What's Your Bliss, Going Off Topic, Spacing Out, Movie Merge, STL Pot Dispatch. They just dropped another episode. So they finally dropped episode 2 after 420. Let's go. But yeah,
I mean, that's like a
that 3-month model. I like that.
Right?
That's a stoner timeline.
It is a stoner timeline. That kind of fits.
The
I like
vibe.
it. I like it. Anyway, yeah, you can check out all of those at anythingbutcredible.com. Make sure to go check those out and make sure to subscribe, follow, give us a 5-star rating on all of those podcasts on any platform you find your podcasts. Wrestling wrap up gonna come back pretty soon, probably with an all-out preview. I've been trying not to talk about Vince. I think that's why I've been prolonging doing another wrestling wrap up.
Sure.
Fuck Vince.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Probably
Wow.
get another article out by the time we actually record one. So,
yeah, we got all out tickets the other day. It's coming up pretty soon. So stay tuned for the wrestling wrap up. Anything else? Am I missing anything? Haven't done this in a while. Stay tuned for the raunchy Offended episode, which more than likely will get dropped. Sorry, Mackenzie. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, Thomas, thank you again. KDK Naked Lady, I'm Tricky. This has been Offended, presented by the Anything But Credible Network. We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, bitches.